Okay, I'm gonna try to make this video quick, but I'm watching Greg Bedard's film breakdown of the Miami Dolphins Patriots game, and it's depressing, man. It's depressing. But it brought something to mind. Is Bill Belichick sabotaging? Not sabotaging. That's a little too strong. Is he stunning the growth of Mac Jones? And the reason why I say this is because if you think about last year, there were two games. I'm pretty sure one can pretty much come to the top of your mind. But there were two games where I thought this. I thought, why is he not giving this kid a chance? It was the Buffalo Bills game where they ran the ball like 40 times. And they focused mainly on running the ball defense. Mac threw, I think, 3 passes. And it was pretty much the run game and defense. And they managed to beat the Bills only because the weather played a significant factor. Buffalo didn't have a strong running game last year, so they exploited that. That's where you see Bill Belichick's genius come into play. But another game is where you see what I'm talking about, where it feels like he's holding this kid back. The New England Patriots versus Tampa Bay Buccaneers game, right? Close game. I mean, Brady's out there giving them hell. The Patriots are out there giving them hell. I mean, it's a close game. Late in the game, late in the one-score game. Not even one score. A field goal, you win the game. And Bill goes for a ridiculous field goal on 4th and 5. Ridiculous. People talked about the 64-yard field goal that I forgot what team it was last week that went for a 64-yarder. It was some fuck that, bro. The game is like at the top of my head. But they went for a 64-yarder, missed it. Had enough leg to get it, but he missed it. It was 4th and 5. Why didn't Bill put the ball in Mac's hands and allow him to go out there and make a play? And this is what I'm thinking. Here's my theory on why Bill Belichick is stunning the growth on purpose of Mac Jones. Okay? Here it is. He wants to prevent another, and please don't mistake what I'm saying. I'm not saying Mac is another Tom Brady. He wants to prevent another Tom Brady-like situation. And what I mean by that is, when Brady got to a point where his mystique, his greatness was so great, he no longer could be denied. It was no longer, oh, he's just a byproduct of the system. You know, it was, he is the system. And I think this is why Bill Belichick was trying to sabotage Brady late. And I'm going to say this because I really believe this is true. I believe Bill Belichick threw the game against the Philadelphia Eagles. He threw that Super Bowl. He threw it. He wanted, I'm not saying he was intentionally out there trying to lose, but he wasn't trying to win. He was not going to give the effort to win. He called the plays. That's if he called the plays. That's me assuming he called plays. He could have just left that up to his coordinators and Tom Brady to do that job. There were no defensive adjustments. Like, it looked like they just sent the defense out there and they just ran their base defense in, and boom, that was what it is. That was what it was. And you just didn't see it. It was a lack of adjustments. It's like they couldn't change. You know how when you watch a Patriots game and as the game goes on, you see them morph into something different than when they started the game. That's not what it was. They just, it felt unlike any Patriots game I've ever seen. And I think he threw that game because on the sideline, when you go back and look at video on the sideline, when Tom is approaching Bill, he's not walking to Bill. They're about to pass each other. Tom looks away. As soon as he's about to get close to Bill, he looks away and looks down. Like he's trying to avoid him. So you could just already tell there was friction there. There was friction there from that alone. You mean to tell me y'all are in a close game, the defense is absolutely fucking horrendous, and the best player on the team and the coach of the team are avoiding each other on the sideline? That was the first signs that, all right, there's some shit wrong here. And then I know people are gonna say, well, they won against the Rams, but that was Bill Belichick's magnus opus, magnum opus, however you say it. That was his chef's kiss, like, we're not gonna win this game because of the offense. We're gonna win this game because of my defense. And that's what they went out there. They went out there and took one of the most explosive offenses that year and kept them to 3 points. Kind of like what he did to Peyton Manning back in the mid-2000s. That was his, this is how fucking great I am. That was his game. That's why it played out like that. Right? But he can never shake the stench of Brady is getting a lot of love. People love him. The players love him. The coaches love him. Everybody loves this guy. And they're completely forgetting that the Patriot way started because of me. And he feels some type of way. I don't care what Bill says in press conferences. I don't care what he says on camera to anybody. Bill is a very egotistical man. And his ego and his image to him is everything. Like it just you could tell the shit was bothering him. You could tell the shit was bothering him. But I think he wants to prevent that from happening again. I'm not saying he wants to prevent Mac from becoming Tom Brady. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if because Mac was getting love. Mac was getting love. In that early part of the season, Mac was getting a lot of love, man. Like, people were starting to come around like, all right, maybe Mac is the guy. Maybe Mac is that dude. And you notice how the way they started the season versus the way the season ended, it just seemed like two different Macs. And that's because he was trying to stop it. He wanted to quell that shit. That's why in these late game situations where he could have sent that kid out there to make a play, he kept him back. He get on the sideline, kicker, go out there, kick a ridiculously long fucking field goal, and we'll try to win that way. This is the only reason why I could think. Why does it seem like he's not giving Mac the choice, And I'm watching Greg Bedard break down the game film, and even he is saying, Mac from last year, when there's an open guy, he sees that guy and he goes to that guy. But now it's like he's not even paying attention to who's open on this side of the field. He's just looking over here because that's what the offense demands of him. Like, it's weird. And that's what I'm saying. I think he's trying to extinguish the fire before a blaze starts. And if this is really what's happening, it's a shame, bruh. Because Mac already got a lot of scrutiny getting picked 15th overall. All right, a lot of people didn't expect him to get picked. Well, going into the draft, I'm pretty sure people expected him to get picked up by New England. But I think the reason why the talks of San Fran going after him with the number 3 pick was because the talks of New England being really interested in grabbing his kid was ramping up. And usually when Bill Belichick is looking at somebody, like really looking at somebody, that's usually a sign of maybe there's something about this kid. But I don't know, man. I feel like this is what's happening. And if that's what's happening, I really feel like it might be time for Bill to just say, you know what, I had a great run. I had an improbable run in one of the hardest sports to play, one of the hardest sports to replicate in the world. No other country could replicate this sport the way America could make this sport. And I'm one of the greatest to ever do this. And I had an improbable run. I coached some of the greatest talent that we've seen, and I've put together so many outstanding moments that it's time for him to just let it go. This is a young man's game. It just There's nothing wrong with having your greatness linked to somebody else. There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, no one is stupid enough to say that Tom is the reason why they won, and that's the only reason why they won. That's bullshit. Because Tom's second year, although he had moments, mainly it was the run game, the defense that kept that team in it. So let's not act like, Bill was just some passenger. All right, but I think that's what's happening. All right, I'll take the long way around just to say that. I think this is what's happening with Mac, and I hope it stops. I hope it stops, or I hope at the end of the season, Bill just decides, hey, look, I might not get the required results or desired results that I'm looking for, so it's time for me to just, either let my son take over or pass the torch over to somebody else. I'm kind of pissed that Josh McDaniels I'm kind of pissed that he left, because I know that he was waiting to take over, but Bill just stuck around. And the only reason why Bill stuck around was because of the Brady shit. He wanted to prove that he can do it without Brady. But Brady going to Tampa Bay and winning fucked all that up, man. It fucked everything up. And he's sticking around, man, because he needs to at least win one without him. But the way that he's going about it, with his ego in at the forefront, is going to destroy a great career of a young player who has so much potential. I still think Mac has so much fucking potential, but I think Bill's ego is destroying this kid, man. But that's it, man. That's it. Tell me what you think. All right.